some of the points of yesterday. Sankhya postulates the birth of things already existing. Nyaya, the followers of Nyaya postulate birth of non-existing things. Whereas Sankhya says that which is already existing will take birth. Disputants, these two disputants, opposing each other themselves, both support non-dualism, he says. Already which is existing cannot be born, and which does not exist also cannot be born. Which is existing like the self or the Atman, it is birthless. And which is not existing like a son of a barren woman, that also cannot take birth. So Sat, Asat, he says. We approach the birthlessness revealed by them. We do not quarrel with them. The non-dualist says, we approve the birthlessness revealed by them, because which is existing cannot take a birth, which is not existing cannot take a birth. How can the self that is unborn and immortal tend towards mortality? The immortal can never become mortal. So too the mortal can never become immortal. Change in one's nature cannot ever take place in any manner. That which comes into being through right attainment, he says. That is, by practicing yoga, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. But here he says, after completely attaining samadhi, it becomes his nature, and he will be possessing all the powers, anima, garima. So that he will not lose. That he says samsiddhiki. Samsiddhiki, samyak siddhi. He has attained siddhi. This is natural to them, he says. Anima, garima, it is natural to them, he says. Will not change. Which is, then he says, one is samsiddhiki and another intrinsic nature. That is, the fire, it is always hot, it will never change its nature. And inborn nature of the birds, as soon as they come out, they start flying in the sky. That is their inborn nature. Then non-produced, that is the nature of water, it falls down only. So, these empirical things does not change. What to talk of Atman? That it changes. So that is called Kaimuttika Nyaya, that he told. These empirical things does not change. How can then be changed in supreme reality? All the souls are free, but thinking, decay and death, for the soul, it leads one to deviate from its nature. That is, when he thinks that death and decay is there, so yad bhavam tad bhavati, whatever things that he will become. Again and again he will be taking birth. Some hold cause itself is effect. Cause cannot be born. That which is subject to modification, how can that be eternal? Some hold cause itself is effect. That yesterday, towards the end, we have discussed that Brahma Parinamavadi, Vrittikar. That cause will be only always cause. And he says the eternal Brahman is full of bliss, and then it takes birth. So after taking the birth, the individual self, following the worship or upasana and following the rites of the scriptures, actions, he will again, he says, he will realize that eternal bliss. So, now today, two other opponents are there. One dualist. He says, Hetu Phala. Hetu is the cause. Phala is the result. So what is the Hetu? He says, the actions which we do in our previous births, it gives the result for birth. Then Gaudapada will be refuting both these Hetu and Phala, cause and result, reason and result, whatever you call. Why? We see that everybody is having some previous actions, that's why he has taken the birth. But he is Ajatavada. In Ajatavada, no duality. So where from the Hetu and Phala will come out? And then there are two other disputants. One is Sankhya and another Vaisheshika. He says cause is there. So from that result will be coming, effect will be coming. Sankhya says cause was there before, and Vaisheshika says cause was not there before. So, cause and effect, and reason and result. Hetu, Phala, Karana, Karya. These things he is going to refute. So, this is the synopsis. You should remember this. Otherwise, while discussing, you will be disturbed. How it is, how is that? So these two things you should remember. That previous actions will be giving birth, result. Who says? The dualist. And cause was there before, says Sankhya. Cause was not there before, Vaisheshika. So from cause and effect, also refuted. And this Hetu Phala. The actions are the reason for the birth at the dualist. So, these things you should remember. Otherwise, what we discussed today, it will be Greek and Latin. In our side, they say Greek and Latin means we don't know anything. It's a phrase. सब कमेंट అయిపోయిందా పది దీనికి Yesterday we have discussed up to 11th Karika, page 469. Karanam yasya vai karyam karanam tasya jayate jayamanam kathamajam bhinnam nityam khatam chitat. According to him who holds that the cause itself is the effect, cause must be born. How can that which is born be unborn? How can that which is subject to modification be eternal? So in this, we are going to the sub-commentary, because commentary I think we have explained English one. మొదటి పేరా సబ్ కామెంట్ అవ్వలేదు అనుకో. Now, leaving the context, what Vaisheshika is telling against Sankhya, that is told, and he says, the followers of logic, they say, what the Sankhya says is not correct. If the cause takes the birth, what is the harm? He says, Jayamanam kathamajam. How can that which is subject to modification be eternal? That is asking. Because pradhana is having parts, it cannot be real. First, the Vaisheshika, the followers of logic, or Vaisheshika, he says, you say that the cause, the pradhana, is having three qualities, sattva, guna, rajas. That means it is having parts. That which is having parts cannot be eternal. It undergoes decay. That is illogical, he says. Bhinnam nityam katham chatat. It is having parts, and how it can be eternal. Cause becoming the effect of Sankhya, they say the cause, that is pradhana, which is having parts, has become the effect, mahat, and all the five elements and all the bodies. So, the cause has changed into effect. That Sankhya says, karanameva karyakarena parinamate yasya vadina ityartha. He says, the cause itself has become the effect. Only the difference between the non-dualist and the Sankhya is only this much. We also say the cause has become the effect. A rope has become the snake. But rope is eternal, it is real, and snake is only imaginary. But they don't say like that. They say that without taking the support of consciousness, the very illusion has created the whole world. Illusion or pradhana or maya is an inert thing. Without support, it cannot do anything. Without the magician, magic cannot go on. Without an individual, a dream cannot be there. So, he is refuted. But what he says, that is refuted by the Vaisheshika. He says the cause has become the effect. Tasyajameva sat pradhanadikaranam mahadadikarirupena jayate. The cause has become the effect. Mahadadhyakaran chet jayamanam pradhanam kathamajam. Now he says, yesterday one thing I told. These Sankhya followers say that the Purusha, they say Purusha is there, Pradhana is there. That particular Purusha, the Supreme Being, is changeless and eternal, he says. He says, it is changeless, eternal, bliss absolute. But now he is asking that Vaisheshika, Mahadadyakaran chejjayamana pradhanam kathamajam. You say this pradhana is changing but eternal, he says. Parinami nitya pradhanam. Kutastha nitya purushaha. The Purusha is changeless and eternal. So far, so good. But he says the pradhana is eternal, but it is changing. Now Vaisheshika is asking, how a changing thing will be eternal? You are talking illogically. So Vaisheshika is refuting Sankhya. And so many defects he shows in Vaisheshika, in Sankhya. Pradhanasya and this pradhana is having parts, you are telling. So it is having three parts. Madadikare rupena, that is contradiction. Eternal thing cannot have any parts. And if it is having parts, it cannot be real. Another. And you are telling it is real. It is having parts. And at the same time, it has formed into creation. So, an eternal thing cannot change. So, you are telling a thing that is changing and eternal is contradiction. In this way, he is going to tell some other reasons also. Vaisheshika is finding fault with Sankhya. According to the disputant who holds that the material cause such as clay itself is effect, that is to say, becomes transformed into effect, page 470. The cause such as pradhana, though birthless, is born as effect such as mahat. This is the meaning. If pradhana is born as mahat, how is it spoken by them as unborn, as real? The statement that something is unborn and still it takes birth involves a contradiction. Again he says, Nityancha tairuchyate pradhanam. They say the pradhana is eternal, bhinnam, it is having parts, vidinam spuditam ekadeshena sat katham nityam bhavet. This yesterday also I told, some part is taking the change. The pradhana, when it wants to create, the sattva portion will be increasing. Spuditam ekadeshena vidinam sat kadham nityam bhavet. Besides, Pradhana is spoken of by them as eternal as well as separated partly. Separated partly, not completely. Because three parts are there. When creation takes place, he says sattva has increased. So, separated partly. How can that which is broken, separated partly, becomes eternal? Now, here is funny thing I will tell you. If suppose you take a part, part is complete, but just little portion, because of eating somewhere, some portion, it has broken. But still, we say it is the part we use. But this fellow, wonderful fellow, this Nayayika and Vaisheshika says a new part has come because something has broken. If you take out some of the threads from the cloth, he says that is separate, this is separate, this is new one. Some like that, some contradiction is there. So he knows well what? If something has been changed, some portion, how can it be real? Nahi savayam gatadi ekadesha sputana dharmi nityam dushtam loke ityarthaha. Now he is explaining. The meaning is that a thing composed of parts like a jar, when partly broken, is not seen to be eternal in the world. Partly broken, he says. But still we use. But he says if it is partly broken, it is not eternal. Why he is giving this example? He says, you are having three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tama, it is having parts. And one part has changed, so it cannot be eternal. That is the logic. And now, these followers of logic, they go to such extent, simply all say mental exercise. Now he says, a monkey is sitting on a tree. So we say there is a connection, union between the monkey and the tree. But he says it is not so. It is sitting on the branch, but it is not sitting below. So, in the same tree, the connection of the monkey is there and connection is not there. Like that he argues. Simply for argument. Shakavachedana sambandha, mulavachedana sambandham nasti. Like that to confuse others. That I think it will come. While studying logic, mind gets heated up. He just changes the words so much that the other part is confused. Vidirnancha syad ekadeshen ajam nityam cha iti etad viprasiddham tairabhidiyate iti abhiprayaha. Now, first argument he has given, that which is having parts, it is changing, a changing thing is not eternal. Now he says, one portion has changed, so it cannot be eternal. Besides, Pradhana is spoken of by them as eternal as well as separated partly. How can that which is broken, separated partly, becomes eternal? The meaning is that a thing composed of parts like jar, when partly broken, is not seen to be eternal in this world. It is contradictory to say, as they do, that something may be partly broken and still it is unborn and eternal. Partly broken and still it is unborn and eternal. This is the idea. giving the logic, he gives illustration. What illustration? That which is having parts, like a jar, if it is broken, then you cannot say it is eternal. Vyapti. Vimatam anityam savayatvad ghatadivat. He is giving the logic. You say, your pradhana is eternal. Who says? Sankhya. What Vaisheshika says? It is not eternal. Sankhya says, my cause, the pradhana is eternal. And what Vaisheshika says? It is not eternal. So that is called vimatam. Vimatam means viparitam matam yayoho. You say something, I say something. But then how to conclude? Through logic. He says, you see, I am telling the logic. Now you have taken pradhana. From your side it is eternal, my side it is not eternal. I am proving, he says. How? Vimatam anityam. The pradhana is not eternal. Why? Because it is having parts, like a jar. A jar, if it is broken, if it is having parts, it cannot be eternal. So like that, your Sankhya, the pradhana is not eternal. See, she proved. So through logic, that is, wherever parts, that cannot be eternal. That is Vyapti. Vidirnam, he says, ajam nityam vikrutam. What he says, Sankhya, it is not taking birth, ajam, eternal, but at the same time it is changing into the world. You cannot tell like that. Then what Vaisheshika says? The cause and effect are not different. Now, in order to elucidate what is already spoken, it is said. Now Vaisheshika is further explaining. Says the cause and effect are not different. The effect, then if you say, suppose the cause and effect are not different, he is asking Sankhya. If you say cause and effect are not different, then I ask you two questions. What? The effect has merged in cause, or cause has merged in effect? Confusing? See, you are telling the cause and effect are not different. Then something should happen. Cause must merge in the effect, or effect must be merging in the cause. So, what do you say? Now, the effect has merged in cause, that is explaining karanat yat ananyatvam atah karyam ajam. If the cause is not different from the effect, so it is eternal. If you say jayamanadve karyat karanam te katham dhruvam, you are telling the effect has born. A thing which has taken birth, how can it be eternal? If, in your view, that is in Sankhya, the effect is not different from the cause, and if, for that reason, the effect also is unborn. If you say the cause and effect are one, the effect is not born. How can the cause be eternal? Since it is not different from the effect and undergoes birth. Effect is taking the birth. So it is changing, it is not eternal. And how your cause will be eternal? Simply argument. You need not worry. There is no cause, there is no effect from Gaudapada. But this much you have to understand. So simply jumbling the words this side, that side. But since it is the text, we have to follow. Then the effect has become merged into the cause, if you say. Effect has become real. And again you are telling the cause has taken the birth. So, how the cause can be real? That he asked. Now, suppose if you say cause has merged in the effect, both will become unreal. Second question, yadi the created effect is not different from the cause, if you say, then cause cannot be eternal. So, dhruvam nityam nischalam, you are telling, and it is not separate from the effect. This you cannot tell. That's what he says. Now gives the meaning of this sloka. Uktasyeva arthasya spashtikaranartham aha. In order to elucidate what is already spoken. What is already spoken? He says, you are telling the cause is having the parts and it is taking the birth. So, if it is having parts, it is not real. If it is taking the birth, then also it is not real. How you can say? That is further explained. Then you may say, the cause and effect are one. Then we are asking whether cause has entered into the effect or effect has entered into the cause. What you want to say? Now he is explaining. Karanat ajat karyasya yedi ananyatvam ishtam. That means, if it is describable, it is desirable on your part, effect be non-different from the unborn cause, then the effect too becomes unborn. Now you see, if it is desirable on your part of Sankhya, dear brother Sankhya, that the effect be not different from the unborn cause. Effect is not different from the cause. Then what will happen? Then the effect too becomes unborn. But you say it takes birth. This is one contradiction. To refute, Sankhya is giving the reasons. If cause and effect are not different, then the opposition is equal. To stress this point, this sloka is given. If the cause and effect are not different, then there is no opposition. Only one thing is there. So, this is explaining through the sloka karanat. Acha. I don't get the connection of the sub-commentary and the commentary. Acha. Karyam. Karanat. Anyhow, we will go to the first English. Ekkada? Karanat? अच्छा, number wait a minute. कारणाद अजात कार्यस्य यदि अनन्यत्वमिष्टं त्वया तथा कार्यम अजमिति प्राप्तम. So if you say the effect and the cause are one, then when you say like that, the cause is not born. Then what will happen? Effect also is not born. This is yet another contradiction on your part. Something that is born as the effect is still unborn. You are telling the cause as real and it is taking birth. How it can be real? If it is accepted, then there will be unfavorability or undesirableness. What is that? That is explaining. Idam cha anyad viprasiddham karyam ajam cha iti tava. It is having the effect, it is changing, but it is eternal. That he is telling. This is yet another contradiction on your part. Something that is born as effect is still unborn. Kincha anyat कार्यकारणयोर अनन्यत्वे जायमानाधिवै कार्यकारणम अनन्यं नित्यं ध्रुवञ्चते कथं भवेत्. Moreover, there is again another contradiction that when there is non-difference between the effect and the cause, how can the cause which is not different from the effect, which undergoes birth, be still eternal? You say it is undergoing change and it is eternal. This cannot. Never can a part of a hen be cooked and remaining part be kept for laying eggs. This maxim, known as Ardhajaratiya, is an important one of the Acharya, as again cited in Bhashya. Again and again he gives this illustration. On the Brihadaranyaka 1.4.10, the Chandogya 2.2, Brahma Sutras 1.16.19. In these places he uses this word, Ardhajaratiya. So now to refute, you are having three parts in your cause. You are telling one is changing and another is not changing. What is changing? When your pradhana want to create, this sattva is increasing. And change is there. Increase means, and again you say it is eternal. It is something like this. He gives the example of the hand. Moreover, Karanayor ananyatve jayamanaadve karyakaranam ananya nityam dhruvanchite kadam bhavate. Nahi kukkutya ekadesha pachate ekadesha prasavaya kalpate. That he has told. Pradhana is real and changing as creation is not correct. Another reason, again he says, Karyam ajam chaiti tava. He says it is, the cause is becoming the effect, and at the same time you are telling is eternal. That you cannot say. And now again in the middle, the subcommentator says, in your doctrine, Mayavadi, you say this non-dualism is called Mayavada. How you reconcile these things? Then he says, we are having no fault. The cause is not different from the effect. The effect is unreal. Bas. Imaginary. So, in us there is no contradiction.
The opponents call it Mayavada, but we are
Ah, that is true. Maya, Brahmavadim. Kinchanya. Ah. Ah. The Brahman alone is real.
But the opponents say you are Mayavadi because everything you
You
see
say
is
illusion,
Maya.
illusion, illusion. You say, that's why. Actually, the illusion is not there. It is there also. From the point of view of an ignorant person, illusion is there. From a realized person, illusion is not there. He says everything as Brahman. So, this particular illusion in non-dualism, they say it cannot be defined. He says anirvachaniya, undefinable. What is illusion? Undefinable. Because some say it is there, some say it is not there, so undefinable. Maya. And what all the scriptures says, Brahman alone is real, and that is you. You are not different from that. So, when that alone is real from the absolute point of view, where the duality is coming, where the Maya is coming, nothing is there. So, that's a no contradiction in us. Because one thing again we have to remember, whatever we see, the world, it says unreal, imaginary. For this, we have given so many illustrations that the whole world is in your mind, it is not outside. How it is in your mind? I and mine. This is the world that is which has crept in your mind. You remove the I and mine, the I is Brahman, mine is not there. Then where from you will get the word? Sit in Samadhi. So, we have explained, we are having 5 states. Waking, dream, sleep, swoon, Samadhi. In Samadhi there is no world. In swoon you don't experience. In dream it is only imaginary. And in sleep it is not there. Where it is there, the world in one state. So, now you have to discriminate which is not there in 4 states and which is there in only one state, which you consider best. Huh? The 4 states are the one state. In this way, we have to discriminate, and the non-dualist says everything is in your mind. Vishwam darpana dushyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam. He says the whole world is like dream and it is within you. Without you, there is no dream. So where is the world? It is within you. Pashyan atmani maya. Bahirivod bhutam yatha nidra. So, though through illusion, though it is there inside, you see outside. So, kinchanyat. कार्यकारणयोर अनन्यत्वे जायमानाद्वै कार्यकारणम अनन्य नित्यम ध्रुवंजिते कथम भवेत्. If you say the cause and effect are not different, then how you say it is eternal, it is changing, and all these things are contradictory. Effect is unreal and cause is real. Then there will be no contradiction. He says answer. What he says, the Sankhya says, the effect is unreal, the cause is real. Then there will be no contradiction. Then he says, now what he told? The cause is real and the effect is real, first you told. Now what you are telling? Huh? Cause is real, effect is unreal. So you are accepting of and not accepting of, just like the hen example. Hmm?
But this is like the monism.
Huh?
This is like monism.
See, we say monism, it is imaginary. It is illusion. It is not there. Effect is not there. Because of your ignorance, you are seeing. But he is not telling like that. He says, first two things are there, Purusha and Pradhana. Hmm? At times he accepts something, at times he accepts something. Hmm? Just like children telling, for some time they say, I want this. You give this one, then I want this one. Like that. Just talking like children. First I accept this thing, no. Now I accept this one.
Sanskritam padam vaarta bhavam. Vedantin says it is mithya. And this Sankhya says it is anitya. There is a little minute difference here. Anitya means non-eternal,
Not real.
not real. But Vedantin says it is mithya.
That is for pradhana, that's why in the beginning itself I told. Parinami nitya is pradhana. It is changing and eternal. And Purusha, not changing and eternal. Kutastha.
When you mentioned the 5 states,
Ah.
and you said 4 out of 5 we don't see the world, and the 5th one we don't see the world. So we dismiss the whole.
Ah?
Four
Sorry,
out of five
4
we
out of
don't
5
see. We don't see.
we don't see, and in samadhi
In
state
waking state we see.
we see. So we dismiss the 4 and we retain the 5th,
One.
the 1.
We dismiss the four and we retain the one because of our ignorance. So, we have to just shift our thinking, imagination. One is unreal, and the four are real. That is our own Atman. This much we have to do. Instead of thinking this, vice versa. Make upside down.
We are not experiencing the dosas and idlis in 4 states. Only in 1 state we are experiencing. But we are assuming that this is the only real state due to our ignorance. This is what.
And finally, according to the non-dualist, everything is in the mind. And the mind is unreal. Then what remains? Nothing remains. Now, kinchanyat. The effect is not different from the cause, pradhana. Yet, mahadadi are created in the doctrine of Sankhya. You should give illustration. See what telling. The effect is not different from the cause. All right, we do agree. At it is changing into Mahat, Ahankara, all these things. So many created things are there. You should give us an example. Otherwise, how we accept? That alone we can agree. Then alone we can agree what you say if an illustration is given. But he cannot give an illustration. First, you have to thoroughly understand the effect is not different from the cause. But yet, effect is there. That is, change is there. Like Mahadadi, Ahankara, 5 elements, all these things. So for this, please give us an example, illustration. If you don't give any illustration, you are refuted. He cannot give any illustration. A thing changing and not changing in one, how can it will be there? Imagination can be there.
But there is the illustration of the water,
Ah.
become waves, become bubbles. It's all water,
Ah.
but different shapes, different forms.
Yes,
There is water. In the bubble, it's water.
but he says it is eternal. Now, if you say the water is changing into bubble, it is having parts, it is not eternal. It is not real. But he says the cause is the effect and it is real. For this, what illustration you can get besides Atman? No other illustration. And if you say Atman, there is no change. You cannot talk of it. You cannot tell of it. So,
There is a defect in the example that you gave.
yeah.
Because the water doesn't change. Right. No. This is the defect. Because you say the water appears as bubble. The water appears as
Waves.
The water does not appear as this. H2O always remains H2O. The only thing that changes is name and form, not the water. So it's not correct to say water appears as bubble, water appears as this. It's not the water. It's name and form. And the water is one thing, name and form is another.
Another thing.
Water is H2O. Bubble is not H2O. You see, like pot is clay. You have clay. Pot is name and form. Right? Now from the same clay, I make a bottle. Another name and form. The clay did not change. Name and form changed. So there is a defect here in the example. The defect is that you are mixing
The name and form and the...
and the substance. They cannot be mixed.
See, only in bubble gas is there, and waves also is due to breeze. And the foam. Foam also is only the only air changing into that. So,
But when pradhana changes into mahat, it's only three gunas. It's always the three gunas, different names and forms. No?
But because it is having parts, it is not eternal, but he says it is eternal. Pradhana is eternal, parinami nitya. That's what he told. Savayavatvat anityam. First he gave the example, anityam savayavat gatadivat. Because it is having parts, you cannot say it is eternal. And there is no illustration, he says. That's why here we have to still understand. What he says? First, the effect is not different from the cause. But what is the cause? Pradhana. And he says, the effect, mad, ahankara and all these things, madadi are created, he says. You should give illustration for this. The cause is not changing into the effect, but again you are telling the cause has taken so many forms. For this you give us example. He cannot give. That is why he is refuted, Sankhya. By that alone we can agree what you say. There is no illustration accepted by both. The illustration you should give that everybody should accept. Illustration should be universal. If we say Wherever fire is there, there will be smoke. If fire is not there, smoke will not be there. This is accepted by everybody. Sankhya, everybody accepts in the relative world. Like that, you cannot give any illustration. Again, what he says, the cause and effect are one, but the cause has changed into effect. How can it be? Clay is clay and pot has come out. The clay has become the pot. But what he says, clay is clay and pot has come out. Then it is what we are telling, it is magic. So we say this is all imaginary. The pot is imaginary. So there is no creation. Superimposed. So then you should be called as a non-dualist, not Sankhya.
Sankhya is there an instrumental cause?
Huh?
Is there an instrumental cause in Sankhya?
That is instrumental cause pradhana. So he says, ajadvai jayate yasya dishtantas tasya nasti vai. He who holds the view that the effect is born from the unborn cause has no example. He says unborn and again has become the cause. Then it is just like non-dualism. If the born effect jatascha jayamanasya na vyavastha prasajyate. If the born effect is viewed as born from another born thing, it leads to ad infinitum. So, still Vaisheshika is behind the Sankhya. Give us some example. No example. He who holds the view, that's why in the beginning itself I told. Today this subject is little confusing. Just remember this much. There is no cause and effect. He refutes. And then there is no birth or actions. Through actions, birth is taken place, that the dualist says. See, both the things. Why you are refuting the cause and effect? Because we are monists. No cause, no effect. Everything is imaginary, unreal, is superimposed. Go and sleep, over, Vedanta. If you cannot accept the creation from the real pradhana, then you should agree from the created cause, effects are created. If you say, our pradhana is real, it is not changing, then what else can be there? From an effect, another effect has come. Then ad infinitum. Jatacha. There is another fault. No illustration and you cannot explain. In the same way, now here he is refuting Sankhya. Afterwards, he will refute dualist. Afterwards, he will come to the Nayayika. Refuting. Ajat. Ajat anutpannad vastuno jayate yasya vadina karyam drishtantas tasya nasti vai. The disputant, according to whom an effect is born from the unproduced thing, has absolutely no illustration to support his view. The disputant, Sankhya, according to whom an effect is born from an unproduced thing, has absolutely no illustration to support. He says, cause is as cause, and it is taking birth and not changing, it is real. Both things cannot go together. Drishtanta bhave arthat ajat na kinchit jayate. That means which is birthless, from that nothing can be produced. Iti siddham bhavati yada punarjata cha jayamanasya vastuna abhipagamaha tadapi anyasmad jata tadapi anyasmad iti na vyavastha prasajyate anavasthanam syad. The meaning is that in the absence of an illustration, it becomes proved that from an unborn cause, nothing is born. First thing. If, on the other hand, it is held that an effect is born from born thing, effect is born from a born thing, then since the later must be born from other born thing, which again from another born thing, it brings about no settlement, that is to say, it leads to ad infinitum. So, you accept only one thing and be stable there. Don't change your ideas. You say it is real, then you should not change. Again you say it is changing. So, in this way, he says, no illustration for you. If you accept the parts, then it will not be real. And another thing he says, first he says the Purusha is real. It is the unchanging, eternal bliss, one side. Then he takes the cause of the world is Pradhana. And again, it is not taking the support of the consciousness, the illusion, Maya. And again what he says, this illusion will be giving liberation to all the individuals. Accepting so many individuals, he says, they are not attached, they are bliss absolute, and what is necessary to give liberation? And how an inner thing can liberate the conscious thing? So much controversies. That is why first we have to read grammar to understand the meaning of particular words. And then go to logic, break the head to understand. Then go to Mimamsa, it is still subtler. So many discussions are there. Then go to Sankhya. Then read Yoga. What else? So, after reading these things, then come to Bhashya. Commentary, sub-commentary with footnotes. First read all the 10 Upanishads. Then Brahma Sutras. Then Gita with commentary, you will understand nicely.
When you say logic, Nyaya and Vaishishta
Both will come. Oh, now of course the present pontiff, he completed the course within, I think, 7 years. But it has taken for me, how many? 18.5 years. Because pontiff used to move here and there. Nobody was to teach. And from 93 onwards, I started teaching whatever I know. When he goes out, 8 months he is out, 4 months here. So, it is, say, some sort of austerity. Without moving, staying for, say, 18 to 19 years in one place. And besides these studies, I was having accounts, cash, management. I am all in all for these, from 87 to 2007. How many? 14 years. And 20 years, sorry, 20 years. And this disturbing. And 93 to 2007, 14 years teaching. So, management and teaching were simultaneously it was going. That's why it is not so deep. Otherwise, we went to Rajasthan one place. So, I was with our pontiff and that particular Swami, Ishwaranandji. Ishwar, no Jaipur వచ్చేవారు రాలేదు కదా. So, Ishwaranji was there, some function was there, and he gave 10 minutes to our Swamiji, or 15 minutes. That 15 minutes, what he talked, I could not understand a single word. From that you can understand how deep they go into the subject. Because he has fully learned all the grammar, all the logic books, all the Mimamsa books, very thoroughly. He was there in Kashi. For him only studies and studies. For me only work and little studies. Of course, as God wills, we cannot. Now he is going to the further Karika.
Shivananda Ashram can relate with you more because they are also more in seva and all these things.
For them it is limited. 4 to 5 hours, everybody. Sivananda Ashram.
No, not those Shivananda Ashram. I am saying here this
Here,
Shivananda
of course.
Ashram can relate with you more because here it's seva and studies.
Only these 2-3 months, afterwards they are free from the studies. They have to study, self-study is necessary.
No, they themselves also study. Sir.
That we can see from Shambhu Devananda
And others.
and others. Anyhow, you see, in this connection, I would like to tell you one thing. Sanyasya Sravanam Kuryat. If you want to be a monk, if you want to be a sannyasin, if you want to follow the celibacy all through your life, one thing you should do, Sanyasya Sravanam Kuryat. You read the scriptures, read and read and read, contemplate. No other duty for you, according to the scriptures. The other duties we have taken from ourselves. We cannot go and stay in the caves of Himalayas and meditate or read and read. That's why we take the support of particular ashram. Then we have to work for the ashram. Staying in the ashram, if you say, no, I don't want to go to satsang, I will not come. Nobody will agree. Our Swamiji says, you are staying in the ashram. Ashram is providing you everything. So, one class, morning arati and evening arati compulsory. If you cannot do this much, get out. What necessary is there? Then he also says, you study or you may not study. That is according to your will. If you are having more intelligence, you can study more. If you are having little, then you study little. But these things are compulsory. Now he made it compulsory even for the devotees. If you want to attend these 3 things, you stay in the ashram, otherwise better go stay in a hotel. You are having money, pay and stay there. If you have come to sightseeing Rishikesh or something, then go and stay. This is not the place for you. Simply says, he may be the foremost devotee. Why he says? He says, here the atmosphere is attending arati and studies. You come from outside and you should not disturb this atmosphere. That's why better you stay outside. You see. And at the same time, you may think that I am a very big devotee, I am giving so much of donation, so I will stay for 4 days. No, not more than 3 days. You have to quit. Following all the rules, only 3 days. So now he is going further. Hetor adhi phalam yesham adir hetu phalasya cha. Now he is coming to the dualist. Following of dualism, those who say that God is separate, I am separate, God has created, followers of Ramanuja. Not Vedantis, dualist, Visishtadvaita. Not monism, dualism.
Ramanujas.
Dualism, they say God is separate, He has created, and the individual is separate. Individual cannot be the God, so he has to pray, he has to worship, then he will realize Him. Like that they make differentiation. They say the world is real, individuals are real, and God also is real. That's why they are called dualists.
What scriptures do they follow?
They follow everything like this only. Brahma Sutras they follow the Gita and the Upanishad, but everywhere they make the meaning to follow the dualism. What you see, our 10th Pontiff used to say, we are refuting all other doctrines. So, that they put as proponent. And what Advaitin says, that he says as opponent. No? Why just changing little words, whole thing is changed. But what the scripture says, that is more important. And at times even they manipulate the meaning of the scriptures. They manipulate the meaning of Gita so much. And in at places, scriptures also. So, he says, Tattvamasi, the what that. Then what he says, Tasmat Tvamasi, from that you have come, you are in that, for that you are, like this they manipulate the meaning. That's why I gave the illustration, Kapyasam. Kapyasam.
Kapi is monkey.
See, the Ramanuja, who is a dualist, Visishtadvaitin, he was the disciple of non-dualist master. So he was teaching him Brahma Sutra. In Brahma Sutra, one particular word has come. That is Kapyasam. That is, while refuting the actions or the worship, he says a particular sentence is there, in that this word has come. Kapi is monkey. Asam, where by which it sits, that is back portion of the monkey. So it is called Upamita Upama. There he is telling the eyes of the Lord are like some scarlet red color, you say. How is that red color? It is like the backside of a monkey.
This is coming from Vedananda, this mantra. In
Ah.
Brahma Sutra they are debating about
And they are
it.
debating.
Yeah, but it's coming from Vedananda.
So, that is called Upamita Upama. And the eyes of the Lord are so red.
Kamala Nayana is called
Kamala
Lord
Nayana.
Vishnu. Kamala is like lotus. So what color of lotus is it? So he gives this example.
Then immediately Ramanuja gets angry. Hi, we are having Lord Vishnu and you are comparing his eyes with the buttocks of a monkey. But immediately left his guru. So it is actually, see, the back of the monkey is not taken, but the only color they have taken. How is the lotus color? Is this that color? And like that, Vishnu is having good eyes. Upamita Upama says. Comparing and again comparison. A comparison with taking the help of another comparison. But he is not accepting Ramanuja. Then he breaks the words this side, that side, and finally tells it is only the eyes of the Lord are just like lotus. That he concludes. But Kapi, that means he manipulated the words. That Kapyasam, it has come in the scripture. Kapi means monkey. But because he knows little grammar, he manipulates the meaning. That's why you see, everybody is having the support. What they do? We refute the dualist. Dualist says that whatever argument we have put, that he puts in the opponent party, and he becomes the proponent. This proved. Just changing the words. But what the scripture says, that we should not manipulate. And we should take the meaning as it is. Then why a Ramanuja should come and why he has to manipulate the scriptures and the meanings of so many things? Because everybody cannot completely follow the scriptures or the non-dualism. Very few in the whole world, those who are having good discrimination can only follow the non-dualism. Otherwise, all are dualists. So, what the non-dualist says, Bhavadvaitam sada kuryat. Kriyadvaitam na karhi chet. When in relative plane, you should follow the duality. But in your thinking, in your imagination, in your thoughts, only be in non-dualism. That is it.
They came after Shankaracharya, all of them. So, is it sub-commentary that
Everything is there for them. The same thing they write in their own way. First, they take the bhashya and first that they manipulate. Now, this is Shankar bhashya we are reading. But they say it is Ramanuja bhashya. Ramanuja bhashya. Madhvacharya bhashya, another is there. Another is Achintya Bheda Bheda. Another is there. So many are there. Schools of thoughts. They are having the books they have written in on their own commentary. Then while writing the commentary for Gita, Lord Shankara says, see, when so many commentaries are there, why again you are writing the commentary? What necessary is that? Then he says, they are not proper. They are not giving the exact meaning of the scriptures. That's why in a short I am writing. Only the thing is, you see, those who are staying in the village, those who earn their bread by plowing the land and selling some vegetables and these things, they cannot go by flight everywhere. Because what they do in India, you see, in the train, first AC, second AC, third AC, and then sleeper and ordinary.
There are different categories.
10 categories. So, first AC is more than the plane ticket. Second AC, little nearing, a little less. Third AC is still less. And third sleeper still less. So, and besides this, ordinary is there. Suppose for a distance of 500 kilometers, you pay for the third sleeper 500 rupees. Within 50 rupees, you can go there. In same train. See, different categories are there. What I mean to say is, those who are having money, they travel in the first AC. Those who are having good discrimination, they go to non-dualism. Otherwise, dualism. Otherwise, still more down. So it depends on the discrimination intellect. That's why again and again he says the foremost aspirant, mediocre aspirants, low aspirants, and again he says moodha, they are foolish. That also he says.
He
Oh,
asked about the timings of the Ramanuja. Ramanuja is considered to be the
12th.
same time as
No,
Adi Shankara.
afterwards. 12th century. 12th or 11th century Ramanuja comes. Oh, now the dualist has come. The non-dualist is refuting the dualist. What the dualist says, what the non-dualist says, it is not correct. What I am saying is correct in the same way he writes. So, now what you will accept? That's why those who are having discrimination, intellect, and those who want to follow the scriptures, Vedas, to the letter, they can take up the non-dualism. Is it not? But in the Vedas, actions are there, upasanas are there, and so many other things are there. Whatever is according to their taste, they will take. You go to the market, you are going to supermarket, you are not going to bring the whole thing, the market to the house. Whatever you want, that much you select and you bring. In the same way, according to the taste of their own mind, they select and they follow. But Sri Krishna gives one guarantee. Whatever may be the taste, whatever he follows, I do give the results. So whichever is palatable to us, that we can do. In accordance with this Shruti, but where the self has become everything in one, which shows that there is no duality in the real sense. You see, what Shruti says, that he is quoting. The Gaudapada. Yatra tvasya sarvam atmaiva bhoot paramarthado dvaita bhava srutya bhukta tam ashritya. The scripture says there is no duality, but a dual follower has come. Now he has to be refuted. The cause and effect are not having beginning. The very first word, what Gaudapada says, the cause and effect, no, sorry, this is for the next problem. What the disputant says, that has been agreed by the non-dualist. What the disputant says, this has been agreed means that there is no cause, no effect. Even the duality in contradicting on the base of Shrutis and explains through the experience of a realized person. Now, the scripture is telling about the duality. What duality? Duality is not real. He says, yatra tu asya sarvam atmaiva bhut. But where the self has become everything to one. Self has become everything to one who has experienced. So, basing on this script, now the same thing is there. Yatra tu asya sarvam atmaiva bhut. Atma eva abhut. Only self has become. This there in the dualist says, this Atma is our Vishnu, bas, this much. They express like that. Then what you are going to do? So many are there behind him. This is previously I told you, see, Bhediya Dasan. One sheep, whatever it does, the all other sheep will follow. Hmm? Our present pontiff says, see, a shepherd is there, and so many sheep he is taking, sheep. So, for the first one, he has kept a stick when it is coming. So it jumps. And afterwards he has taken away the stick. But all the sheep, they come and jump there. That is Bhedya Dasan. That is the following. Like that, if some famous person tells something, others will simply follow. Huh? Because they never use their intellect. They never use their discrimination. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, because if a famous person has told something, don't simply accept it. You utilize your discrimination. You confirm the meaning. If you like, then only follow. And compare it with the scriptures. And same thing Chinmayananji says, because a man is having lakhs of followers, don't think that he is a religious person. Use your intelligence, use your discrimination. Huh? Follow the scriptures. Everybody says. So now when he says dualist is coming, what he says? Even the duality is contradicted. The duality is refuted on the basis of Shrutis and on the basis of experience of realized persons. Hetoho. Hetoradhi phalam yesham adir hetu phalasya cha heto phalasya cha anadihi katham tairpavarnyate. Hetu is the reason or the cause. What is the cause? That is the actions which we did in our past. And what is the fruit? Now, present body we got. So what the dualist says, these two things are different, and because of your actions you got the body, and you are different from the God. That they accept, that he is refuting. The non-dualist is. How can they who hold that effect is the source of the cause and the cause is the source of the effect, assert beginninglessness for cause and effect? Says, effect is the source of the cause. How you have taken birth? Because of my past actions. How you did past actions? Because of past birth. Interpolated, intermingling, interdependent, they are. Then assert beginninglessness for the cause and effect. And at the same time, they say they are real and they are no beginning. How can they say? So now he is going to refute the dualist. That's why in the very beginning I told, one is cause and effect, and another is the fruits of the action and the actions. That is what the dualist accepts. That is going to refute. Merits and the body. Merits are the actions and the body. Hetufalatmaka is the samsara. What is this whole world? It is only the merits and the effect as body. And is eternal. And he says samsara is eternal. They cannot say eternal. Merits and body are beginning, are having a beginning. And when you say the body and the merits, you are telling through your speech. What you are telling? There is merit, there is the body. And you are telling they are eternal. So, the eternity that you are praising is through only your mouth, but they are not eternal. Because there should be some beginning. And which is first, you tell me, then again he refutes. You say, merits are first, or the body are the first. What you answer, you can care. Same thing, whether seed is first or the fruit is first. Nothing is there. So simply accept as unreal, imaginary, and be happy. But that they don't do. Merits and the body are beginning, and the merits of the actions and the beginning of the body is only to speak. Vacharambana vikaro namdheyam. They cannot prove the beginning of either. Yatra tu. Yatra tasya sarvam atmavibhabhut. How they can explain the scripture? That where the self has become everything. Depending on merit and the body, they cannot prove duality. Now you see, they are taking the support of what? Merit of the actions and the body. Just taking these two, your friend is coming.
The merit includes Papa and Punya.
Papa and Punya. Good and bad. Merits. And then because of the merits, he is getting the body. Depending on these two things, he says he cannot prove duality. That's what he says. They and they say the change of Atman. So, beginning as material cause and eternal. Now he says, they say the Atman is changing, and then how they begins? Something should be there. It should be material cause to begin a thing. So, the Atman is partless and changeless and stable, eternal. How it can be changed? The duality says, you see, that the all-pervading God is having a name and form and is eternal. And you are having a body because of merits, and this they accept as the change of the Atman. So now the proponent is telling that the Atman is partless, it is changeless, it is stable, it is eternal. First, how it can change, how it can become part as a jiva. Now he says both are eternal, God is eternal, and the duality of the world also is eternal. Both are real. So, he says, the Atman cannot have any parts and it cannot change. So, your duality is not correct. How can they who hold that the effect is the source of the cause and the cause is the source of the effect assert beginninglessness for cause and effect? Heto dharmader Adhi karanam deha adhisangata phalam. How can the disputants who hold that the source of merits, etc., is the aggregate of the body, source of the merit. And similarly, the merit are the source of the aggregate of the body, thereby postulating a beginning for the source and effect by the declarations that they are mutually the cause and effect of each other, as at the beginninglessness of the cause and effect. They are mutually interdependent. And at the same time, he says, they are beginningless. It is self-contradictory, for the eternal and immutable self cannot ever become the cause or the effect. So, dharma is the merits and deha is the body. And what he says, who hold that the source of merit is the aggregate of the body. How the body has come? Because of the merits. Similarly, the merits are the source of the aggregate of the body. Because the body, merits will be there. Thereby postulating a beginning for the source and the effect. So if this is there, that will be there. If that is there, this will be there. So you are accepting a beginning. And at the same time, what you prove? There is no beginning for the cause and effect. So you are telling contradictory, he says. Thereby positive beginning for the source and effect by the declaration that they are mutually the cause and effect of each other, as at the beginninglessness of the cause. It is self-contradictory, for the eternal and immutable self cannot ever become the cause or the effect. This last sentence that non-dualist is telling. So, their acceptance, their imagination, cause and effect is there, and at the same they are eternal. So, they accept the word, they accept the individual, they accept the Supreme God, and they accept as separate. This is also real, that is also there, the separation also is real. And how they get realization, how they go to God? By merits. If you do good merits, you will go to God. So, they spread more bhakti cult.
This is basically true for all of them?
Most of them. Because you see, that's why I told, everybody cannot go by flight to everywhere. That is, there are so many types of minds are there, individuals. Taste is different. Previously, I gave the illustration of barber. Illustration of barber. You remember? So, a barber has not studied any scriptures. So naturally he says, God is different, I am different. You go to a somebody, what do you call? Bahamian. Bahamian. You just go and tell, you are God on the face of earth. That's what our scripture says. Then he says, fool number one, walk out, he says. Because they don't understand.
Swamiji, can you please explain what is the difference between going on for infinitum and eternal?
Infinitum.
What is the difference between infinitum and eternal?
The infinitum and
If cause and effect go on and on infinitum.
Ad infinitum of causality.
Yeah.
ad infinitum.
So what is the difference between
That is, you see, actually it is called anavastha. Ad infinitum, in Sanskrit, it is called anavastha. That he says, the Sankhya says, the cause is eternal. And again he says, it is taking the birth. If you say the cause is eternal, it should not take birth. Then you have to accept what? That which has already taken the birth should have another birth. So, where from this has come from that, and where this has from another, from another. So that is called ad infinitum. That is, a part cannot produce another part. But if you say a part has produced another part, that part, another part, that part, another part, so you are just moving in the effects only. That cannot be. So that is a defect. That is called ad infinitum. But the eternity and the reality, it says, there is no cause, there is no effect. There is no merits, no body. Everything is only imaginary. That's all. So in the beginning itself I told, the non-dualist is going to refute the Sankhya and the dualist. So what the dualist says, that is correct, this is correct, and a difference is there. And how the difference has come, because he has done some merits, so he is having a body, all right. What is the beginning? He cannot explain. So, and you are telling beginning is there, and at the same time you are telling it is changeless. How can you say? Changeless, he says, for both for cause and effect. They are changeless, they are eternal. That cannot go on. But you see, ordinary persons, they don't discriminate so much. Simply you say, one God is there, you pray Him, you will get all the desired fruits. But he starts praying. That's all. That's why the Lord Vyasa has written 18 Puranas. And 18 says Upapuranas. Upapuranas are also 18. Why? Because the individuals are attached to the world so much, they don't know anything about God. So for them, they also should be elevated thinking. So he has written all these things telling, if you do particular act, you will be getting such and such a result. So Sri Krishna says in Gita, whoever does whatever it may be, I am the giver of the fruits. So by that he first, as Swamiji told, first faith will be increasing, then Shraddha will come, then slowly he will be tending towards the eternity, though in dualism, whatever it may, but slowly he will come. So there you see in India, there is a temple, Tirupati Balaji. Actually what happened, that a Sri Chakra is placed below the deity. It attracts money. They have chanted in such a way, it attracts money. That's why it is Mother Goddess Lakshmi statue. But this Ramanuja went and changed it to Vishnu. So it attracts money. And whatever he give to the deity, he gives more to you. If you give 10 rupees, he will give 1,000 rupees to you. He is so gracious. So there is a famous saying, if you go to Tirupati and if you put 100 rupees now, within 1 month you will be getting 1,000 rupees. Very good business. So he goes there. And not only this, if you go there, you will feel so much astonished. They have prepared small, this just plates, house, a car, a cycle, another vehicle, a bus, so many things they have. If you purchase this, that is silver, made of silver. And if you put in the hundi, you will, within few days, you will be getting car. So they purchase, they are giving some silver to the God, something in return they will get. If 100 persons put, two or three persons may be getting one car, because his prarabdha coincides. And then he will be, again, see, he will be proclaiming to everybody, oh, if you put there, you will get a car. And everybody will put. In the same way, they attract. That is, stuti arthava. Somehow or other, they should bend their mind towards God for that. But this is for the highest, those who are discriminating. Otherwise, why should take the monkhood, giving up everything to know their own selves? This is the easiest way. Now again he says, how do they assert contradictorily? That is beginning, that is being explained. Contradictorily he says, katham tair viruddham abhyugamyate. That is going to explain.
Falasya cha undali. 15th Tarika, first line. Etaradi phalam yeyam phalam yesham adidhetu falasya cha. Falasya cha.
Falasya cha. Acha, kalasya cha undi. This is fa, not ka. The cause and effect are not having beginning, and at the same time, they say world is eternal. First thing, they say the cause and effect are not having any beginning. And again what they say? What is the cause for the body? Merits. They are accepting the cause and effect, and at the same time they are eternal. Because cause and effect are having beginning, and world is eternal is not correct. Even the cause and effect are merit and the body is also not possible. As the cause and effect, if you say it is eternal, then the formation of the body also is not possible. For that he is telling, how do they assert contradictorily? That is being hetur adi phalam yesham adi hetu phalasya cha tatha janma bhavet tesham putra janma pituryatha. He is making fun of them. According to the disputants who hold that the effect is the origin of the cause and cause is the origin of the effect, but may be possible just as a father might be born to a son. If they accept the cause and effect, and at the same time if they accept as eternal, that is contradictory. That's why he says, hetu janma deva, hetur होना चाहिए ना, हेतु जन्मा देवा, हेतु जन्यादेव, हेतु जन्यादेव जन्यादेव फलाधेतोर जन्म अभ्युपगच्छताम तेषाम ईदृशो विरोधो उक्तो भवति यथा पुत्र जन्म पितु. Those who think that from the effect which is product of the cause itself originates, makes such contradictory statement as a father is born of a son. First verse he says, those who think that from the effect, which is product of the cause itself originates. So, Hetoradi phalam, according to the disputants who hold that the effect is the origin of the cause, and the cause is the origin of the effect, birth may be possible, just as a father might be born of a son. Effect is the origin of the cause, he says. What is the effect? From the cause. And what is the cause? From the effect. Then who is the cause and who is the effect? He says, father is the effect and son is the cause. It becomes like that. What actually the non-dualist want to say, you are accepting the cause and effect and at the same time you are telling eternal. That is not possible. That's why simply come and sit with us and do the thinking of non-dualism. Why? We imagine it is everything is imaginary. For an imagination, what beginning is there, what end is there? Everything is imaginary. And you will be getting highest bliss that you don't want. You want to go to Vaikuntha again, you want to come back again, you want to go to heaven, you want to come back, doing the merits. Like that you will be moving. All these things will be coming. So, he says, it is not possible. You cannot accept that effect and cause as eternal. Ythokta virodho na yuktobhyapagantamithi chen manyase. If you think that the contradiction pointed out above is not fit to be accepted, we say in the evening.